Well, I'm standing on a beautiful lawn that we're going to talk about here with Steve Carper from the Regional Water Providers Consortium. And the reason we're standing on this lawn is because we're going to try to talk about the really kind of small things each of us can do at work at saving not only water, but saving a little bit on our water bill as well.
Absolutely. Well, most folks in a residential application tend to use 2 to 3 times more water than they need to when they're trying to irrigate a lawn area at their homes, and that can result in several issues. You can get runoff, which can result in pollution, higher water treatment costs, and that's to the community. More costs required for fertilizing to keep that grass green. And just the time and the other resources, the gas, the time that it takes to get rid of the clippings, haul it to the dump to be recycled, that sort of thing. It's oftentimes when you sit down and think about it, a lot more investment than most folks think.
Well, that is true. And as our society over time has changed, we were known in America, worldwide literally, for these grand lawns in the 50s. And they were beautiful. And we're not saying get rid of those.
No, no, we're certainly not being anti-turf here. We just want folks to think about having functional turf. And that function can be whatever you want. If you enjoy spending the time and the money to create a beautiful lush green lawn, that's fantastic. We just want folks to consider all the inputs that are going into it.
And if there is an alternative that looks lovely, why wouldn't we be thinking about using that?
Absolutely.
Well, now we're gonna walk over here and I'm gonna talk to another chap about the actual lawn. This is the homeowner here, and we'll give you some ideas on what he's done to make this beautiful green lawn. Well, now I'm here with Keith, who's the homeowner here, and we've got a couple different lawns to show you, some alternative lawns. So what are we standing in right now? Because this looks more like a meadow.
This is one called Fleur de Lawn.
Nice.
And it's a flowering lawn, and it was one of the first ecological lawns that came out, and it was developed by Oregon State initially.
Well, now let's talk about it, because it isn't traditional in the sense of a perfectly flat mowed lawn. There's flowers and stuff growing up here. So what are some of the benefits of this to a homeowner?
Virtually or very little water.
Yeah.
A totally different look.
It is. Yeah.
It's got microclovers and clovers in it, so we don't have to fertilize it. We mow it. This has been mowed twice this year and rebloomed, and it'll probably be mowed at least another 3 times and rebloomed to look like this.
And because of the lack of mowing and mulching, it really is much better for the soil.
Yeah.
Because you can like put your hand down there and you can feel that there's not mulch built up.
Yeah, there's no thatch in this or not, and you'll find surprisingly very few weeds.
Well, and that would mean too that when you do water it, which is very seldom, the water actually is going into the soil and not
I get a
running
lot
off.
of penetration and not much into it. Yeah.
Well, now the lawn that Steve and I were standing on, that's a different type of alternative.
Right.
What's that one?
That one's using a microclover. Oh my God, we're putting clover in a lawn. Oh God, the world's going to come apart. This was a clover that was developed in Europe. It's very small and it's made to mix with lawns.
Yeah.
It does the same thing. It's a deeper rooter. It helps the soil. It fixes its own nitrogen. It feeds a little bit of the other grasses, and it requires a lot less water and stays green a lot longer.
So if this was a little too wild for you, that's another alternative that would work
that's more
very
like
well.
a traditional lawn if you wanted a traditional lawn look, and it really is really beautiful. As you mentioned, it's like Decandra if people were used to.
Yeah, in California, Southern California, those more tropical climates. We've given you a lot of information. If you go to conserveh2o.org, they have some videos, a lot more information about this. And if you're thinking about saving money, doing the little parts that each of us can do to help, this is a great place to go to. For more information, go to gardentime.tv. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure.